What's going on? Welcome back to Nat Family Racing. We're here at the racetrack. We're unloaded. The pits are filling up fast, and looks like we've got some money hunters come to try to take $2,000 from us. We'll see if we've got anything to say about that. It's really just going to be filling it out through hot laps and praying that they put some water on the truck or on the track, because we went out and looked at it when we first got here, and it was
dry.
It was dry. It was real dry. Like, put my hand down and went like this, and a cloud popped up. So I'm hoping that they're going to make this thing pretty heavy to start, especially with the amount of cars that they're going to see going across it. We are the third car, or we're the third class to go out tonight. So we shouldn't have to deal with too bad of heavy push mud, but it's to be determined, really. So we'll check in probably after hot laps. We've still got like an hour until the drivers' meeting, but we'll check in after hot laps and let you guys know where we're at and what it looks like going forward. So we'll see you then. Alright, just got done with hot lap qualifying, and we qualified 17th out of 29 cars, I believe. We qualified 17th. Track was really wet, kind of got what we asked for there, but that'll put us starting 6th in Heat 2. We've gone 6th the first here before, but we had 20 laps to do it. This time we're gonna have 5 laps to try to get as many spots as we can. So hopefully we'll be able to find a good line. Hopefully the track dries up just a little bit, or packs in just a little bit, and we're able to move around. So we'll give it to you guys after the heat race and let you know what's going on. All right, we're back home. We knew what it was gonna be. Couple people, I don't know. We knew it was gonna be. We got ran over, killed, tire tore off of it. Then when it got hit and the tire come off, it wouldn't engage in any gear at all. And when the track official tried to push me off with the four-wheeler, the flagman was yelling at him to not push me off the racetrack. And as soon as, I don't know, I guess the race was about to be over, another official got behind me on a four-wheeler. And as soon as he started pushing me, I was able to get the car to drop in gear and then drive off with our flat tire. That I'll show you guys a picture of, or a video in a different video. But I'm not here to bellyache or nothing like that. We knew what it was going to be. We just hoped that we were going to be able to survive it, and we weren't. So the night in totality, hang on. I didn't order any pet spiders. The night in its totality was pretty odd. It was really super wet at the beginning of the night for our hot lap qualifying, and I just didn't drive it how I was supposed to. I should have been hammered down. I feel like old Kenny Wallace. I wasn't hammered down like I should have been through the mud, but without the lock transmission, I had no real idea of what the dig on this thing was going to be. So I kind of laid back and I still tried to get a good time, but I was in there feathering the throttle around the corners and stuff like that, instead of just running it wide open, hucking it in there, finding where it's going to stick and drive off, which is how you're supposed to drive the car when it's super heavy like that. But I wanted to at least make it to the feature race. So we went out and qualified 17th out of 29, which put us starting 6th in Heat 2 somehow. We were supposed to start 6th, but then we ended up starting 5th because 6th either wanted to start in the back or didn't show up. I don't know what happened to the person who was supposed to start 5th. So we got moved to 5th. And then the car from the back just drove up the inside, and he didn't hit me. It wasn't a dirty move or anything. But he just drove up the inside past a bunch of people. And I couldn't find where the grip was enough to get to the 6th place car. So we went from 5th to 7th, I believe. Technically on the score sheet, we went 6th to 7th. But we lost a spot on like the first lap. Lost 2 spots, I guess, because the outside rolled a little bit better than the inside. There was a lot of holes and ruts, and the track was rough. Towards the end of the night, it was knock your feelings out rough. But at the beginning of the night, big holes and ruts started to form all through the center of 1 and 2,
3 and 4 stayed together pretty decent. But 1 and 2 was a dirt bike track. And then so finished 7th out of 9 in our heat race, and we were in the second heat. So then that put us starting 20th in the feature somehow, and the person who finished, I think, 9th in our heat race started 15th. And the lineup was just all, I don't know how they do it. So I'm not going to say that they messed up the lineup. Maybe they have a different way of taking cars from heat races and putting them into the main event. I don't know, but I don't know how somebody finished 2 spots behind me in a heat race, started 5 spots ahead of me. And the feature, there was no explanation. I didn't ask for one, just because it's whatever at that point. Like, we're starting 20th out of 29 cars. We knew going into it, it was going to be a race of fruition. Like, you're just going to have to survive. There was a bunch of money hunters there, which of course there's going to be. Like, these are all things that we knew before we even put the car on the trailer. So it's just survive. Try not to get locked up in other people's mess. And we did a pretty good job of that for, I feel like, the first half of the race. We were just running our race. Somebody just completely missed the bottom or straight lined it, or I don't know. Talk in the pits was that this guy hit everything but the hot dog stand before the night was over. Ended up with 3 flat tires and mowed down the turn 2 wall twice. But he came and absolutely cleaned out the left side, knocked the toe completely out of the car on the left side. The steering wheel went from here to this being straight. After that, beat the rim up pretty good. I'm hoping it's just cosmetically beat up. But then after the restart that guy caused by plowing off into the fence, we were lined up 8th. So we made it from 20th to 8th. And on the restart, got a little jumbled. The inside lane got stacked up. I went low just to not plow into the back of somebody, because under caution, somebody just stopped on the front stretch and caused a chain reaction where the car in front of me banged into him. I banged into that car. The car behind me banged into me. We were pace lap speed, but like a decent pace lap speed. So like when I hit, it knocked the rivets out of my gauges. The gauges came out, knocked the car out of gear. And so I was trying to get the gauges slammed back up and didn't notice that it was out of gear, and I was giving it like gas, and I guess it didn't knock it all the way out because it was like, and then I just beat it back in a second. It was, and we took off. So then we lined up in 8th. The inside line got stacked up. We went to the inside, which gave 9th place room, I guess, to come down, and then they floated up. And as I was coming back to get in line to make the corner, 9th place just came across the nose of the car, took the right front with it. Right front tire, I mean, he ripped it. He ripped it all the way off the bead. About ripped the tire completely off the car. The back bead was on the front bead of the rim. Ripped it off the car, took the bumper with it, tore a bunch of stuff up. There's a bunch of stuff tore up on this race car. Then we were in the infield, and that's when they said 94, get it going if you can. And I couldn't. I don't know if it happened when I had the flat tire and I turned off into the infield. If it got like hung in between two gears or what, but it wouldn't move. I could get it to turn on and it'd go where it felt like it was trying to, but it wasn't fully engaged or something. I don't know. It was, and I thought that I couldn't see the right front, obviously, from being buckled up in the car, so I thought the whole thing was just folded and taken off. I thought the bumper and the fender were folded up under it, and that's what it was, so I was motioning that I needed the hook. Like, I'm gonna need the hook. It was on the right side where the flagman and the officials couldn't see, so I had the window net down in front of the flag stand being like, yo, I'm gonna need a hook. And then one of the officials came out on a four-wheeler and was like, do you want me to push you? And I said, I don't know. I can't get it to move. And so he goes, we'll try. I go, okay. And he lined up behind me, and as soon as he was getting ready to push me, the flagman was yelling at him, get off the track, don't do that. Get off the track. Hey, no. So we didn't get to get pushed off the track or attempted to be pushed off the track then. Then they ran probably about, I don't know, 8-10 more laps, and another caution came out, and we're still sitting there. Then they ran probably another 5 laps, another caution came out, and we're still sitting there. And then I think they ran another 2 or 3 laps, I can't remember, to be honest. And we were still sitting there. It felt like we were sitting there for 20 laps. Whether we were or not, I have no idea. But sitting in the infield is not exciting, especially where we were sitting. If they would have gotten a little watered up coming off of 4, like we were in line with the start-finish line in the infield, and like it wouldn't have taken much for a car to go spinning off the front stretch and would have absolutely killed us. But eventually they sent another four-wheeler out. It got behind us. I got the car started. It's in neutral, clutch is down, and then so I got it into neutral. Clutch was down, started pushing, and then I was trying the whole time to just like get it to fully engage. About the time that we got to the tractor tires on the inside of turn 4, it, like, I don't know what happened, but it was like, and we were able to drive off, and I mean, it sounded horrendous. The thing was just pop, just beating the fenders up, beating the bumper up. The rim was really the only thing touching the ground that we were driving on. So it was, I got out of the car pretty unhappy, which is why I didn't pick the camera up, because I had a lot of feelings in the moment that I don't have right now. The car that took the nose off, the driver came up as we were leaving, and was like, hey, I know I got into you. I don't know how bad it was, but if I got into you bad, like, I apologize. I didn't mean to. I didn't see until it was too late. And it was just, I know that it wasn't intentional. Well, I guess at the time I didn't know it wasn't intentional, but I would like to imagine, or I would like to think that he wouldn't have done that to me. Because I do know that he doesn't drive that way. And you know, we were pitted next to each other. We were talking all day. He's a good guy. So it's racing. It's a set of the dice that you roll when you decide to go put the car on the track, that somebody's just going to clean you out and end your night. It sucks that that's how the last race of our season is going to play out, especially since I think we could have got up and got a little bit more. I don't think we were getting into the top 5 unless they kept kind of wrecking them up there. But I think that we could have been right outside of it, or maybe just barely cracked it. The car had good speed, even with the toe knocked out. The track really came to life in the latter part of our running of the feature, so I'm assuming that it just kept getting faster and a little bit better. But the car was rotating a whole lot better. We were able to have really good drive off. We were getting more comfortable running higher up. At Aeroc, most of the moisture had kind of stayed in the bottom traditionally every time we've been there. And so you wanted to kind of be down there in the grip to have good drive off, but the track actually moved up pretty good. So it was just finding a line where you weren't going to run through the holes and the ruts and stuff like that, and being comfortable with where that turn in was and driving it in deeper. It was fun. It was fun while we were out there. Langley put on another good night. So I hate what happened to us. I wasn't always excited with what was happening at the racetrack, and I think that our starting positions in things kind of put us behind the 8 ball. But I mean, I'll take 75% of the blame for that, because it's like, if you're faster in hot lap qualifying, would have been stuck so deep in a heat race. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know how they take from the heat race to the feature, but if we would have finished better in the heat race, we wouldn't have started so far back in the feature race. So it's my fault for not being elbows up earlier. But you know, it's just one of those things where you gotta survive, and we didn't survive. But it was a good night. It was a good show. It was a good race from what I got to see in the infield. So all that's left now is the crying part, I guess. We're just gonna tear the whole car apart, have it back down to a shell, beat out all the body panels, replace the ones that need to be replaced, pull the bumper off, and see how much of that is actually tore up. I think the problem with, I didn't have first gear all night, and it's because of how we had to rig up the selector lever, because we didn't get our cables in time. So I currently have no reverse, no first, but I have second, third, fourth, fifth. So all that's going to come back apart. We're going to go through and do some probably wire management. I'm hoping we're going to pull the motor and transmission out of this car and just have everything gone through. But I also have like 4.5 weeks or something like that until I've got a little baby. So we'll just see how much we can get done before the baby comes, and see how much after the baby comes we can kind of get done. So, but yeah, I told you guys at the beginning of the year when we went out and won the opener, they don't give those wins away. So that's why I was so adamant that they can keep the money and the trophy, but I'm going to keep the win because they're hard to come by. So I'm going to get back inside and just stop looking at this thing for a while. But until next time, we'll be seeing you.